Welcome back. Today we are looking at an introduction to text in DaVinci Resolve. So here I am in DaVinci Resolve and I'm in the edit page at the bottom, and I want to add some text to this video. The first thing I need to do is go up here to the effects panel or icon so that I can see my text panel. So I click on that and you'll see toolbox, Resolve FX and audio. You want to open up the toolbox and then you want to click on the titles, and then you have your titles available. You have three basic titles in DaVinci Resolve. You have your basic titles, and then if you keep scrolling down you'll see Fusion titles. These are animated titles that are ready to use, made in Fusion. This is the equivalent of After Effects for those of you who are familiar with Adobe. The next item will be your subtitles. So if you're doing captions for your video, this is where you would go. So those are your main types of titles. To add titles to your video, let's say we wanted to add a title at the beginning of this video. All you need to do is to drag, let's take a basic title, drag this onto your timeline, and you make sure that it's on top of your video, and you can see on the right here you've got your basic title. For you to be able to edit your title, you need to go up here to the inspector and you click on this icon, and that opens up your inspector window. And under inspector you can do many different things. So the first thing, the most obvious thing, is just to change your title. So let's call this campus service. So in the inspector window you can edit your text and you can change all these parameters. When you scroll down you can change the font, you can change the font face, make it light, anything you want, regular or extra bold. Let's put this as black, that's the maximum. You can change the color, so when you click on that you get this color wheel that you can use to change the font color. We'll just leave it as white for now, so I'll just cancel that. You can change the size of your font, you can change the tracking, line spacing if you have multiple lines, and so on. So these are all the parameters that you can change on your basic font. So now that you have your text, you may want to animate your text. To animate your text you need to go to your inspector again, and any parameter that has this diamond keyframe icon to the right of the parameter is animatable. So let's do a simple animation on this text. You can see in the inspector you've got your position, X and Y. X is your position to the left or right of the screen. Y is your position up and down on the screen. And this little redo icon resets everything. If you've messed up, you can just click on that and it will reset everything for you. So we want to start off with the text off screen. So I'm going to move this text by simply clicking and dragging on the X position. And then you click on the keyframe icon to set your first keyframe position. And then you move your playhead to where you want the text to be on screen, and move the text to where you want it to be by clicking and dragging. Let's say I want it there, and DaVinci will set the second keyframe automatically once you've set the first one. So when you play from the beginning, the text moves from left to right onto the screen. So that's a simple animation, and anything with a keyframe icon can be animated. So all these parameters all have keyframes icons, so you can actually animate all these parameters. If you don't feel comfortable doing your own animation, you can go down to the next set of titles, and these are Fusion titles. These are pre-animated for you in Fusion, and all you need to do is to drag and drop them onto your timeline. For you to preview what the animation looks like, you can just drag on the name, across the name, and you get a preview of what that text will do. You get this wide variety of Fusion titles that you can use in your project that are already animated for you if you are not comfortable with animating your own titles, or you just want to do very quick professional looking titles without much stress. The next type of title that you can do are your captions. So if you want to do subtitles for your video, you can go down to the captions. To get your captions onto your video, you do the same thing. Click on the subtitle and drag it onto your timeline. The difference with this is that when you look on the left here, you'll see ST1 has been created. So this is a special kind of track that is set for subtitles. I'm going to put this over black background so that you can see this clearly. So there are your subtitles, and unfortunately for the free version of DaVinci Resolve, you have to manually type in the subtitles, whereas if you get the paid version, DaVinci can transcribe your video for you and create your subtitles. So in this case, you still go back to your inspector and you type in the subtitle. Once you've finished editing the first part of your subtitle, you go to the end, and now instead of coming up here to drag this onto your timeline, all you need to do is go up to your inspector and just add new, and you get the next block of subtitles that you can edit and continue that way. Under basic text, you also have a text plus, and text plus is Fusion based. So let's put the text on black so you can see it clearly. This is another Fusion based title, and when you click on it and you go to the inspector, you see that you have many more controls that are available for you when you compare that to the basic text. So let's see what we can do here. So for example, let me edit this text again to, this is a test paragraph. Okay, and let's scroll down and find right on. So we can actually keyframe a right on effect using text plus, and all I need to do is go to the beginning and then go to right on and pull this all the way to the left so there's no text. I click on my keyframe and then I move forward in time to where I want my complete text to be visible and go all the way to the end. And when I go back to the beginning and play this, you get that right on effect. So text plus gives you a lot of control over many different parameters that you can animate, and this right on effect is just one of many. One thing you need to know is that you can actually edit your text just like you can the video clips on your timeline. So I can drag to shorten my text or drag to lengthen it. I can cut it just the same way as I can cut my video, and I can drag these fade icon to fade in my text and drag this to fade it out so that it appears and then fades out. That's it for today, an introduction to text in DaVinci Resolve. See you on the next one.